Jambo there. Actually, today morning I want to share something that I had an experience yesterday with a friend of mine, and we were just discussing some property that he bought some 5 years ago in the outskirts of Rural Town. And he mentions to me that they're in court because the piece of land that they bought within an estate, the previous owner has come back and through the judgment of the High Court, the land is no longer theirs because from the onset, the land had actually been acquired illegally. And the person who acquired the land went ahead and subdivided it and sold the land to them. So now he was asking me, Gerard, what do I do? What I could tell him is to keep pursuing the matter. If they're in court, let them pursue the matter in court and await the High Court outcome. But that is not the key issue here. What actually referred him is to look at a case law by the High Court of Kenya, that is Dinner Management versus County Government of Mombasa, where the court ruled that by virtue of you having a title deed on your hands, in your briefcase or in your cabinet, does not make that an absolute ownership if the process that this land was acquired through was illegal, or there was some illegality at some point in the process of that land transfer. And the judgment talks about the root of title. And here basically what the judge talked about is, I'll give an example. If this land was grabbed from a public, if the land was a public land and it was grabbed, and then over time it was subdivided or it was sold to a third party, a fourth party, and you end up getting a title. By you having the title on a piece of land that was initially public in nature, your goose is cooked, because it means at some point there was an illegality. And that's what the court is talking about, the root of title. And what is this telling us as people who want to invest in real estate? You want to buy a house, you want to buy a piece of land. It is telling us that as you get into that transaction with a developer, the ball stops at your table to be able to do proper due diligence. May it be through your lawyer, may it be through your agent, name it. There are people who are able to help you do that process. Even yours truly here. These are things we are able to help you. And what are some of these things that you need to look at when you're talking about the root of title? Number one, of course, the title itself from the person you're buying this piece of land. You need to get the whole documentation of that piece of land that you're buying. That is the title deed, and not just the copy. Most of the time, people ask for a title deed, and you're only given the first page, while as a title, actual lease title, we are talking about almost 8 pages of a lease title, whereas you only want to see the first page. So make sure you have all the documentation, the original IDs, the passport photos of the person selling you, and then further engage a surveyor to be able to dig the records at the Survey of Kenya in terms of how has this subdivision occurred over time. Because if the land or the block map was, let's say, 1,000 acres, and you've bought an eighth, these are things we're able to establish how this land was subdivided, or the amendments done along the way. The other thing that you can do on your desktop with your AI, with your Google search, is with the LL number of that piece of land, you can actually check online, because nowadays the case laws are uploaded online. Just check whether that LL number you're buying into has any matter pending in court. And these things are you able to verify by yourself or through your legal team. Then number two, my friend argued that, no, Gerard, I took a facility from the bank and the title is charged in the bank. And the bank did its due diligence. So why are you telling me that we have to be in court for the matter? True, when a property is charged by the bank, it is in most cases the most legitimate property you get into. But that does not absolve you from doing further due diligence. Of course, the most initial level of due diligence is doing a search at the land office. But I would request you, over and above this search that you do at the land office, whether through your lawyer or by yourself, get further into the process. Get a surveyor, walk to Survey of Kenya at Ruaraka or at your district level. Look at the maps. Were they amended? Go further and do what we call a site visit. Visit the neighborhood, even without the person who is selling this piece of land. Walk to your local chief, to the local chief of that area. Talk to the neighbors. In fact, a joke is made about you talking to a drunkard in the village. They will give you some critical information about this piece of land. At times, we buy land without even caring who is selling it to you. If you're buying agricultural land, has the process gone through the land board for the consent? Is there consent from the husband, the wife, and even the children? Have they consented on selling this agricultural land? And when you look at your sale agreement, there is what we call the completion documents. Look at that page. You will find actually you need almost 15 documents over and above your title. So check, go back in your file, over and above that title you own, which other document do you have beneath it? Do you have the mutation map? Do you have the RAM, that is the register index map? Do you have the IDs of the people or the person who sold you the piece of land? Do you have their passport photos, the transfer documents, paid up rates, the stamp duty, was it paid at the point of transfer, the land rent, the sale agreement, was it signed, the consent documents, are they there? These are some of the things that you need to look at in terms of documentation, and many more. So I'm inviting you today. Let's walk this journey to decode some of these things that at times we ignore, not because we don't know, but maybe we are busy. We are here to help you to be able to walk you through this journey of what I'm calling architectural diligence. Keep along, subscribe to my page, and let us share this info to other people that may require it. Asante.